So Schalke on the left-hand side of your screen and Barcelona on the right. Huge clubs in the world of football, and a huge, huge day at the office, Wes, for Schalke.
Yeah, and
they need to bounce back, don't they?
Yeah, and it was interesting to hear that they've analysed their team and they understand that offensive options, they don't really have that many. It'll be interesting to see how they've formulated that into their tactic, because as we've seen, that they tend to not really have an outball. As we mentioned, kind of first and second match days, Harit was pretty good for them. You had Rahman, who comes off the bench as well. They've got Bergsaler, who's kind of like a point man up top. But looking at it, it's just going to be interesting to see how they actually play it out. You know, looking at the formations here, you've got Schalke are setting out in a 4-2-3-1. Barcelona, curiously, looking at a 4-4-2 at this point, which is a bit of an interesting option. So
yeah, Harry. We talk about how it's such an important day for Schalke, but Barcelona are only sitting 2 points ahead of them in 5th place. Equally, you'd have to say that they need to probably get something out of today as well, if they're really going to start to look for the top of the table.
Yeah, you might argue that they need to buck their ideas up just as Schalke do on the other side. It's really tricky to figure out where these two clubs are at the moment. Would love to listen in and just have a little listen to what they're saying right now as they maybe set up their team tactics.
And as soon as you said that, they stopped talking, which is great.
That's fine. But realistically, for me, this is about two different clubs that I'm not sure where their mental state's at right now. Obviously, we speak about that losing slump that Schalke are on at the moment. Barcelona equally yet to come out with a real statement win with 6
wins,
points.
2 draws and 2 defeats says it all really about Barcelona's season so far. They've kind of been. The word "ish" is not used very much in broadcast, but that's kind of how I feel their season's gone so far, Wes.
Yeah, it's been a long time ago since match day 1 where they stole it at the death against Juve. It's a very long time ago, and looking at how they've played since then, they haven't really, as Harry alluded to, they haven't really came to the party with anything that would suggest that they are destined for those top 2 spots. I think if you were to take a poll at the start of the league, yep, they would have looked on paper as a great team to put your money on. But actually, when it comes to actually playing the game, there's many different things that can happen. So
does that surprise you, considering they've got the likes of Griafera in their ranks, one of the greats of eFootball PES?
I think it's surprising that in terms of how their chemistry is working at the moment, is that it doesn't feel as though it's as fluid as it could be. I know you alluded to a lot of, well, actually, there's just a lot of Griafera just talking at people. There's not really a lot of kind of communication going along. We could probably see more of that, and that might actually lend itself to actually building a bit more of a team ethos rather than it just being solely down to one guy to lead the charge.
Yeah, and Harry, have you got any facts and figures, the stat man, in terms of Schalke, for example, and what they might be looking to do, or are you going to go with the Barcelona contingent?
I think I'm looking at Barcelona here and just looking at their overall shots on target. I mean, 16 shots on target across, however many games of PES they've played, 6 games of PES. That really should be a higher output for a club that is the caliber of FC Barcelona.
Indeed. Well, we are underway already in match day 4. Schalke kicking from left to right in the blue and white home strip, and Barcelona right to left in their away strip. And it's some early possession here for Schalke down the right-hand side. And Harry, how would you approach this if you were Schalke?
I think you have to try and rattle Barcelona off the start, and it seems certainly that's what they're going to try and do. I mean, an early goal would really settle the nerves and just give you that bit of confidence that you need, that Schalke, I feel like at the moment, are lacking.
In towards Rakitic. First chance here for Barcelona, but the chip-through ball was just too much to evade the control.
Schalke certainly seems to be settling the game down a little bit here, which is, again, what you want to see them doing. You want to see them, you know, try and grab the game by the scruff of the neck with a bit of possession, but just as I say that, Barcelona able to turn over the ball. So then, Schalke once again trying to attack here. Wes, not sure if you are with me. You are.
Oh, fantastic.
I can hear
it's
you,
okay.
which is good. Sorry about this. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Here is Harrit on the ball for Schalke. Just offside there, I believe. And that's been sort of a tale of Schalke's season so far, Wes, hasn't it? I mean, just a little bit out of sync with each other when it comes to the attacking gameplay.
Yeah, and it's always you know, we mentioned about how Schalke have played with each other for quite a long time and that they know each other's games, but even still, nerves can jangle. You can, you know, misread a pass. You can take one step or one step the other way, and you can really get caught out, especially in stat balancing mode. What with physicality and those different types of stats, it really kind of cause a bit of an issue.
So, thankfully, someone has unplugged Adam Butcher's microphone, so we don't have to listen to him anymore. He will be back with us shortly. Junior Firpo able to intercept, and now Barcelona with an attack. Here is Suarez. Albert trying to get round the Schalke man. Back to the Uruguayan, using his strength there to hold up the ball. Messi in support here as well. Scrambles through to him, but just a little bit lackadaisical there. And now a chance maybe for Schalke to counter, but that's going to allow Barcelona an invitation back. Messi's in behind here. Feeds it back to Rakitic. Oh, off the post. Early chance for Barca, but just outside the post.
Yeah, well, you can see there, you can see that Barca are trying to make inroads. Schalke not really doing too much at the moment, but I think that it's going to come down to, I feel this game will come down to one chance, and if they can put it away, then I think that's what we're looking at right now.
Well, we saw it on match day 1 against Celtic FC. That's the 2 wins that have come for Schalke so far, sitting on 6 points, all of them coming from that first match day.
And I'm back.
He's back from the dead. Welcome back, mate. Where'd you go?
Just went for a chill, to be honest. It was an early start, so I had a little 10-minute break there. Technical difficulties aside, we are back live, and you can listen to my Dorset tones as the ball gets played down the right-hand side to Dembele. And thanks for stepping in there, Harry, of that chance as Rakitic plays it across the face. And I've come back at the perfect time because it's Luis Suarez, and it's Barcelona 1-0 to the good.
Well, we said it might come down to the first chance and the first goal in this game, and it's fallen to the Catalan club. It was a lovely passage of play. We'll see it here in just a moment. And really, it's lackadaisical defending from Schalke. They might feel a little bit hard done by. Their players maybe could have done more, but it's Rakitic just able to feed the ball across the face of goal, and Suarez, well, he makes it good.
And Wes, this is worrying times now for Schalke because they've been under the cosh for most of the game so far, and they're now behind.
Yeah, they're going to need to summon all their years of experience and all of their years within the game to be able to actually get this back and back, you know, before the break. You know, if they can get a goal before half-time, you know, that might kind of kick them into life a little bit. But Barca, again, have kind of dropped down to a defensive style of play now, so you might see them hold the ball a little bit more and play a little bit more possession that they're already known for.
Indeed, and this could be the statement victory potentially for Barcelona that we've been asking for, and it's Schalke looking to respond though, but it's a poor pass and cleared away up towards the halfway line. Back in Schalke possession towards Harrit down the left-hand side. Piqué comes across, that's food and drink for the man of many talents as he plays it forward towards Sergio Busquets, blocked by Gattuso.
I mean, looking at those stats there, Adam, I mean, 11 goals conceded is, I mean, it's not great, but then when you look at the goal-scoring form as well, I mean, 3 goals across 6 games of PES. As a team for Schalke, they need to turn their fortunes around in at least a goal-scoring form.
Yeah, they certainly don't score enough goals. Even the goals, the games they did win, as they tried to have a shot from the edge of the area there, even the games they did win at the start of the season, I think they were 2-1-0s. So they certainly need to get on the front foot and make their chances counters well, but it's Barcelona who are countering as Dembele finds Suarez. Now Rakitic chips it in towards Lionel Messi, looking really dangerous again. Good defending. Pinball around inside the 6-yard box. Finally cleared, but Barcelona looking to assert their dominance and get what could potentially, Harry, be a killer second goal.
Yeah, cleared by goal in the end, but there have been murmurings, and even El Matador, the team captain, said in an interview last match day, you know, we need a bit of backup here from Schalke, a bit of business in the January transfer window, because our attacking playing options aren't really as good as some of the other teams in the league. But I don't think you can put that goal-scoring form down to the personnel you have. I think you have to look at the players that you're playing with just not being on the same page and maybe not being up to the same calibre as everyone else.
Yeah, and Wes, Harry talked about the personnel for Schalke 04. How does that affect the way they approach a match? Because, of course, they will have strengths and weaknesses, as any squad would. What are the strengths of Schalke that they need to kind of focus on, do you think?
Well, they have their physicality across the pitch. As we mentioned, they've got Bergstad, they've got Uth, I believe, on the bench as well, who are quite, you know, they're not pacey forwards, but they can certainly bring the likes of Harit and bring the likes of Rahman into the game. So, you know, if you have to take a hold-up approach in the game as opposed to trying to just, you know, counter-attack teams, you might need to take that approach. So,
second half underway, and it's all to do for Schalke, the German Giants, as Busquets plays it forwards. Good interception, though, and now Nurkan hack down on the halfway line and a chance to possibly get the big boys forward from the back, launch it in. Well, they may go short, as often happens in eFootball PES. They do go short to Becker. It's a really sloppy pass, but they've got away with it. Stasic down the left-hand side to Harit, who's probably been their most dangerous player so far, and almost a shooting opportunity, but a good pickpocket there from Barcelona. Now they come forward in sways down the left-hand side through Jordi Alba and Rakitic, etc., but he's held back. They still maintain possession, though, and then they give it away. Yeah,
a little bit fortunate there for Barcelona to retain possession just for a little while. This one, if left, will be a Barcelona throw, but elects to play it back inside. One thing I will say, though, is Henriquinho has impressed me early on. It was Guifera, the captain, to slot home the only goal of the game so far, but Henriquinho on defence has been really solid, making some promising runs up top as well.
Here's a chance for Schalke, though, as the ball gets played in towards Gattuso. Good header away. Harit still with possession. Again, it all seems a little bit rushed at the moment, doesn't it, Harry?
A bit unimaginative for me from Schalke. Why not, instead of playing that risky ball, just retain possession, really suffocate Barcelona? Instead, they're now on the counter.
And but for a poor pass, possible tied legs coming in as we approach the 2/3 mark in the game, the 60-minute mark, when we do often see changes. Wes, what would you do in terms of changes here for either side, really?
Well, I think for Schalke, they really need to kind of have a look at their shape that they're playing within, although they might get a lucky break here.
They might do indeed. It's in towards Gattuso! And Schalke are back with a bang just when you may have been writing them off at home. They grabbed the equalising goal, and it was a wonderful finish, wasn't it, Harry?
Oh, it really was. And that's going to instill some confidence, and you can see relief is the body language we're seeing up there on the stage. A smile from El Matador, that's something we haven't really seen in too many match days so far. We'll see the goal here again. It comes from a break, and this was, again, a bit fortunate in the midfield, but that's some of the fortune that I feel like Schalke so far this season have been on the receiving end of some poor fortune, and they get lucky there, and luckily they are able to put the goal in the back of the net.
They are indeed. And Wes, we see this time and time again now with this manual goalkeeping. I know we bring it up quite a lot, but that, to me, wasn't well used at all.
No, you have to assess the situation. In that type of situation, you want to actually give Schalke the opportunity to go, okay, we need to make it, you know, we're going to pick our spot. You know, I think as soon as they saw a manual keeping, you know, or a manual keeping option,
it just freed the whole goal up towards the far post.
One, it frees up the full goal, and two, Schalke, it gives them every impetus to just hit it first time, whereas you can at least make them make a difficult decision.
So why do they do that then? Why did Barcelona try manual goalkeeping there? What would be the benefit from that position? Because it wasn't as if it was one-on-one, for example. You know, it was still quite a long way out.
Yeah, I think realistically, I think it's instinct. A lot of these players play 1v1, and they'll have their own ways of doing things. When it comes to co-op, you kind of forget that actually you're staring down the face of it with two teammates. that you've got to kind of, put your trust in.
Yeah, so 1-1, Schalke with a timely equaliser there, just when people were starting to doubt their potential for the season ahead. But Barcelona have kind of gained momentum back, shackled away there. As Barcelona starting to suffocate Schalke in the final third, as Dembele has the chance to cross but goes back onto his left foot, and he's quite fortunate there, Harry, to get a corner. Yeah,
in the end, a little bit lacklustre, but I'm seeing a lot more strength in defence from Schalke, which is one of the questions we were asking about them coming into the day, looking at their defensive record. Some changes coming in here, though. Chance for both lineups to tweak things. Already I'm seeing Barcelona's tweaking in turning one of their defensive or central midfielders into more of a number 10 in behind their two strikers.
You kind of get the feeling that, as we just listened to some of the players, you kind of get the feeling that a point apiece in this first game, both sides might not be too disheartened by that.
Yeah, I think looking at it, I think it's a fair result at this point. I really do. I haven't seen enough from either team to kind of say that they deserve to take the 3.
Yeah, I think obviously both teams will be wanting all 3 from this first game, but realistically it's been a bit of luck here or there.
Lionel Messi crosses in, headed goalwards by Piqué, didn't quite get enough on the header to really test Langer in the Schalke net, as he thumps the ball downfield. 19 minutes remaining for one of these two sides to grab what would be possibly an unlikely winner at this moment in time, as it's quite even across the board. He goes down under a challenge. Referee is unmoved, and there were many Schalke fans inside the stadium which wanted a penalty there, as it's headed in and over the top. The goalkeeper came and missed. Oh no, he didn't. He got a timely shoulder to the ball there. Unorthodox goalkeeping, but it certainly worked, and now the corner comes in and punched away again. Brilliant goalkeeping for a second time in as many minutes by the Barcelona number 1.
Still pinned back in their own third here, though, so need to keep their wits about them. Now's the time for Schalke really to put Barcelona to the sword. A goal here would put them in great stead towards those 3 points.
Yeah, you felt for them after going behind so early, but they've responded really well, and they're just as likely to grab a winner at this moment in time. It's really hard one to call this, as a real mix-up at the back there from Barcelona, and it's going to be a corner, and Schalke just ramping up the pressure here.
Yeah, they can't seem to deal with this Barcelona. What can Schalke conjure up?
Such an important part of the game, set pieces, as we've seen over the last few weeks. Boavista number 1, probably Wes, in terms of their ability to use set pieces so far.
Yeah, I'd say them. Monaco as well have been quite prolific with it, as Griezmann breaks.
Yeah,
he's got
it's really
Messi
opening up here. Messi can't quite get on the end of it.
It's a very open game here, Adam. I'm not going to lie to you. It's certainly both of these teams recognising at this stage of the season, 6 points here or even 4 points.
Straight away, though, this is a more offensive performance from Schalke, isn't it? And we touched on at the start of the game, start of the day, should I say, that we might start to see the shackles come off.
Yeah, I mean, 6 or 4 points for either team here would be the difference maker at the end of the season, potentially. So it's good to see both of these football clubs recognising that, and the players really going for it. 7 minutes remaining here. Schalke 1, Barcelona 1. Can one of these two sides grab a winner to really propel their season? As Barcelona come again down this left-hand side. Jordi Alba plays it across. It's a risky one, but Gerard Piqué made the most of it. Now on towards Griezmann. He's away from the defender. Big chance here for Barcelona. What a save from the Schalke goalkeeper, and that was probably the best chance of the second half, Harry. Yeah, no chance either for a corner to come in, as it's a strong hand from the keeper. Cleared away from the defender. Pressure still on, and importantly for Schalke, still time for a counter potentially here as well. So as much as these two sides have been fairly equal, you wouldn't write off any one of them grabbing a winner, and that might just be Barcelona, as Messi's cross just can't get on the end of the outstretched striker in the middle because it's blocked out at the near post. But that's a poor clearance there, and groans around the studio as Lionel Messi goes through. He's away from the defender, pulls it across the face, and somehow it's gone the wrong side of the post. But Barcelona knocking on the door. The wolf is outside the house. Can he come in? That's the question. Sergio Roberto with the set piece. 2 minutes of added on time, says the fourth official. In towards
the 6-yard box, punched away by the goalkeeper. Is there time for a counter-attack? No, it's been wrestled back by Barcelona. Roberto plays it in towards Messi. It's going to go all the way out of play and possibly might be the last attack of the game so far.
Yeah, people in the studio recognising no more time. So 1-1, the first game between these two clubs. That is how it will finish.
A really intriguing first game as the referee finally brings it to an end. A really interesting one, that, guys, because it looked, after going so early behind, that it'd be a tough one for Schalke to respond in, but respond they did, and I think 1-1 was a fair result across the board. I
think so, but when you're looking at the complexion of the two clubs and their fortunes so far this season, you'd say Schalke will be the happier with that point after being on such a losing streak without scoring many goals in those losses. To get a 1-1 draw against a team like Barcelona, who at the start of the season we were maybe questioning as a team that could be within the top 4, maybe even the top 3 clubs. I think they'll be happier than Barcelona there, who might have argued they let it slip after going up 1-0.
Yeah, so that point for Barcelona leapfrogs them, leapfrogs Manchester United for them, should I say, into 4th place so far. Of course, they have a game to come, and Manchester United have 2 games to come as well. And that point for Schalke lifts them to joint 6th with FC Nantes and Boa Vista as well. So, like you said, an important point potentially going forwards at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's worth noting, we bring it up almost every single match day, but you only play your opponent club once per season, once per match day. Obviously, you play 2 games against them, but you only get the opportunity to face up against this club once per game season. So
12
I mean,
pointers across the board.
Essentially, it is a 12-pointer. So any points dropped here or there could, I mean, it's an opportunity for teams around you in the league to leapfrog you potentially.
It is indeed. And that's what's so fascinating, Wes, that, you know, if it was just the 3 points, it would be a little bit, you know, more cagey probably across the season. But knowing that there's 6 points at stake, it's such a big incentive to go out there and get them, isn't it?
Yeah, and it allows you to have some type of kind of mental reset. So, you know, if the first game goes badly, you have the opportunity to rectify it in the second. And I think, you know, as it was kind of last season, you had the tie element. So it was a case of, oh, well, if we win the first game, we can draw the second, and that would be enough. Whereas this time, it's points are on the board in every single game. And I think that's what kind of makes this more intriguing as the season progresses.
Formations-wise, are they pretty similar to what we've just seen?
Yeah, looking at how they're setting up, it's pretty much as you were in terms of kind of team selection. It'll be interesting to see, though, you know, kind of why, you know, at least a focal point of a number 9 isn't really being implemented by Schalke. You know, you look at who they're playing up top, and you go, actually, is Bergstaller the better option? Because against PK, as we talk about physicality, if you've got Bergstaller who's backing into him, he'll physically be able to hold it off and allow Schalke a little bit more room, a little bit more time to play. So it'll be interesting. It
kind of was paying off in that first game, the likes of Harit joining the attack, etc., using that tactic.
Yeah, and exactly, and that's the thing. You have to play in a way that suits your team that you have in front of you. This isn't at home where you're playing, you know, with just the team that you want to play with. This is your team that you have set out with, and this is the team you're going to play with.
Yeah, and in terms of Harry, in terms of, you mentioned Henry Quinho, for example, he impressed you in that first game. Is there anyone else that stood out to you, or is he the standout man over the 2 teams?
I think the captain, El Matador, did so well after getting that equaliser against FC Barcelona, really steadying that back line, steadying the defence of Schalke. We'll need to do much more of that, I predict, here in this second game.
Well, indeed, we are underway in the second of the 2 first match game of the day. Harit on the left-hand side. It is Schalke that come forward first, and there's a lot of space here for Mirkan. Chance to shoot, surely. Great block, and somehow scrambled away. A lightning start for Schalke as they look to take the game by the jugular.
Yeah, great footwork there from a Schalke man, able to get a more likely shot in.
That's a wonderful cross in towards Mirkan.
But Barcelona in the end, throwing bodies in front of the ball as they continue to do. It's been certainly not the most fundamental of defences from Barcelona, but you know, bodies in front of the ball is always going to do.
Indeed. Showing great tenacity there in the defensive third as Luis Suarez joins the attack on the left-hand side, flicks it back to Jordi Alba, support from Rakitic in the middle. Great control, lovely flick. This could be one of the goals of the day if they can get it. They can't. It's great defending in the end, but that was wonderful approach play from Barcelona, and they're still on the attack through Rakitic. clipped in towards the near post, cleared away only as far as Busquets. This is a great response here from Barcelona, and again, stunning defending from Schalke. This game's starting to open up already in just 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, stunning defending once again from the captain El Matador, not once but twice repelling the Barcelona attacks. Unfortunate they're in attack, but it's bounced their way.
It has in towards Coutinho. Good challenge, just about holding up the Schalke player. Now Barcelona come again. This game is ebbing and flowing at this moment in time. We're just waiting for that one moment of magic to unlock the door as Luis Suarez puts it in towards Rakitic. Back to Suarez. Lovely first touch away from the defender. Oh, just got held back. Again, a few half-hearted appeals from the Barcelona contingent. Referee waved them away, though.
Great physicality once again from the captain, El Matador, continuing his defensive work here in the second game.
Looking to accumulate those points for best defence of the day for sure, as Schalke again managing to smother the Barcelona attack. But Wes, Barcelona, they're starting to look pretty impressive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're starting to get their passing move going here. As you can see, Dembele into Rakitic. Oh, that's so proud. Oh, what a save! That's a fantastic save.
Unbelievable stop there to deny Luis Suarez, because that was the best attack we've had so far in the opening first half of the first half, as Rakitic plays it towards Jordi Alba. Barcelona just aren't giving up the ghost here. They want to continue until they get the breakthrough, but the door is just about still closed, Harry.
Just about, but it's important here for Schalke to not allow Barcelona to move up through those gears. If they get into fourth or fifth gear,
oh, what a ball that is in towards Coutinho. First touch is incredible, wonderful save. Mirkan, another stunning block. Bodies on the line job from Barcelona. And we mentioned about momentum. It nearly shifted back there, didn't it? As it gets played in again towards Harrit. Cleared away.
Credit Guifera. It's the captain on one side for Schalke, and Guifera now for Barca, stepping up.
Harrit in towards the near post. Cleared away by Piqué again. They were queuing up there, the Schalke strikers, as Jordi Alba now brings it away, and it seems to be happening in waves between the two sides. There'll be 5 minutes where Barcelona have all of the play, and then it switches down the other end.
This is wonderful.
Now it's back in Barcelona territory again. Suarez, great save by the goalkeeper. How many times have we said that today?
It's wonderful play there from Barcelona. Unlucky not to be rewarded with a goal, but they're really ramping up the gears now.
It's a free kick as Henriquinho is felled on the edge of the area under the astute guidance of Lionel Messi, and it will be that man over the free kick. We often see them play it short, but he's gone for goal straight away, and it's straight down the throat of Lange. He's not going to be beaten from there.
The reason I pick out Guifera on the Barcelona side is because it was his manual goalkeeping that prevented that one-on-one from being a Schalke goal. So credit to both captains here, El Matador's defensive work and also Guifera's goalkeeping.
Schalke this time forcing the corner. A goal just before half-time could be so crucial in either of these two teams' seasons. In towards the near post, and it's an easy claim in the end from ter Stegen. And it's volleyed down towards Jordi Alba. They maintain possession here in their own half. Crossed in towards Piqué, chance to switch it out towards the right-hand side. Semedo forward towards Messi, who's had a bit of a quiet game, but we know he can burst into life in an instant, as Henriquinho again is dispossessed, and Goul can bring the ball away. Now forward towards Goul again, and it's Coutinho. Had numbers over there and didn't use them, did they?
Yeah, good defensive work, I suppose you could say, from Barcelona, but just a bit of hesitance on the ball allowed the Catalan club's defensive contingent to get back and again get behind the ball as we enter added on time now in the first half.
Last attack of the first half. It's in towards Rakitic. He fires it forwards towards Suarez, who strayed just the wrong side of the defender, and it looks like we are ending the first half how we started the game and how we ended the first game. A draw, stalemate.
It's high octane though. You might look at this game and see 0-0. I think the difference maker, it could easily be 2-2, but I think the difference maker here coming into half-time is what changes these two football clubs make going into it. I'm liking Barcelona's two men up top. That I think they've recognised in a 3 versus 3 competition, if you have those two strikers up top, they're already in positions to either make runs off the ball for the third man controlling a midfielder, or you know, hold up the play for that third man as a midfielder to run in behind. So I'm liking their formation choice. I'm not sure whether or not it's, you know, going to be the difference maker. For me, it's all about who they can bring on and what Schalke can do maybe to counteract that two-man striking force of Barcelona.
And Wes, out of the two teams, who would you be most happy with if you were in that camp right now? Which camp would you prefer to be in, Barcelona or Schalke?
I would prefer probably to be in the Schalke camp at this point. I think that, as Harry alluded to in terms of shape and setup, they're solid in their approach. It's just a case of they just need to get a little bit of the rub of the green, so to speak. And if they happen to get that, they could come out of this with 3 points.
Jordi Alba down the left-hand side, plays it in towards Luis Suarez. First attack of the second half, deflected cross in towards Rakitic, scrambled away again. Mirkan pops it off. It's a poor pass though, straight to Dembele. Barcelona come again through Rakitic. Jordi Alba finds Messi. Messi, another chance to get a shot away, possibly lovely footwork. And it's just a whisker wide of the near post.
Yeah, just something to pick up on just in that passage of play. We're noticing that every time that ball goes forward for Schalke, it just keeps pouring back. And they have so many men that are kind of in their own third, that when it gets up to Kutucu or it gets up to Hari, there's not enough players up there to actually be able to play that back in and get it going again. And
also, if you don't get that pass up to one of the front men for Schalke, Barcelona are immediately coming right back at you. So something to look out for, definitely.
52 minutes gone here between Schalke and FC Barcelona. Rakitic wins it back again.
Forcing it a little bit too much for Schalke at the moment.
Yeah, Barcelona have certainly started this second half the better of the two teams. It's fired in towards Dembele. Again, the offside flag is raised, but the pressure just beginning to mount here.
You just want the German club to maybe settle down a little bit here. They need to realise what is on the line. They are still at 0-0. No reason to force these passes and you know, go
for where they are in the table, though. Is a second point good enough here?
Certainly not, but I mean, it's better than 0 points, which if they keep playing the way they are, I feel like Barcelona are more likely to score next.
Dembele in towards Suarez, hacked away by Sane. We know that momentum is such a key thing in the eFootball.Pro League, and so far Schalke doing a lot of soaking up at the start of this second half, and we know it can switch in an instant and they can be back on the front foot as they are here through Mirkan. Forces a corner and they can possibly look to try something here to break the deadlock. Often in such tight games, it is a set piece that can be all the difference. On this occasion, it wasn't to be. It was a poor one, but still in Schalke possession. Boudjeleb. Now Mirkan. Back to Boudjeleb again as PK can't quite get a full foothold on the ball to take possession back for Barcelona. That's a really poor pass, and it allows Barcelona to come away through Sergio Busquets. Lovely turn, nice flick in towards Dembele. First time pass. Again, it's all a little bit rushed at the moment from both sides. 64 minutes gone, and we're just waiting, aren't we? It seems to be the lack of quality now in this second half.
Yeah, pause queued up here by the Barcelona boys. I must say, though, leading up to that corner, much better from FC Schalke. They were switching the play and, you know, playing it back to their defensive men, you know, not forcing the ball forward, which was something they were struggling with earlier on in the game, and it was allowing Barcelona almost, I mean, free roam in the midfield when you can't get the ball up to those front men.
Now, Wes, we've noticed from the Barcelona formation there, the wide diamond in midfield. It's something we're not massively accustomed to this season from a lot of the teams. What does that provide? What does that offer you if you play that formation?
Well, it gives you a lot of width going down both flanks. You know, we look at Barcelona in terms of the weapons they have. You know, you've got the likes of Dembele, you've got the likes of Rakitic, who can come and play an auxiliary left mid if needs be, but they're deploying him out wide. You've got Sergio Roberto. You've got players that it provides you a bit of an opportunity. You lose something in the middle.
I was going to say, does it leave you a bit open in that midfield battle?
Yeah, it leaves you a little bit to be desired there, and I would have thought that Schalke may have tried to exploit that weakness by packing the midfield, but
Busquets, lovely flick forward towards Griezmann. Again, just seems to be that final pass isn't quite happening at the moment, but a goal now for either side between Schalke and Barcelona in this final 20 minutes would see the victor with 4 points from today, which is no mean feat.
It would certainly put the hairs up of their opponent and would really force them to commit more personnel forward, which might even lead to even more goals. So, if there is a goal left in this, it would be crucial.
Oh, it's a mistake defensively. The back heel somehow found its way through. Finally, the danger was cleared though, and now there's a chance on through the middle. If he can find the right pass, it's a bit wayward, and Semedo's able to head back towards ter Stegen. It's one of those games, it just needs that little spark, doesn't it?
Yeah, it needs something. It needs something to bring it to life, and it looks as though at the moment Barca look like they're in the ascendancy, but you can never count out Schalke and that counter-attack they have.
Out towards his right-hand side, Rahman on that counter-attack, as Wes just suggested. Now a chance to cross it in. He's dillying and dallying, though he can't quite get in towards that danger area. Now he crosses in, cleared away. No real numbers in the box, though, when that ball came in.
Yeah, the surprising thing for me is that they haven't deployed, you know, instead of deploying a centre forward, they've gone with putting a winger up top. And honestly, if you're going to play in that type of way where you want the centre forward to be your focal point, he has to be strong. And they haven't got anybody that can hold that ball up that end of the pitch, and at the moment it just keeps inviting Barca back and back and back.
Messi, it's a poor pass by his standards. Now Sergi Roberto up towards Semedo. Of course, Henriquinho, the man controlling him. Oh, that almost found its way through to Sergi Roberto, who would have had space to run into and get the shot away as it opened up for him like the Sea of Moses. But now the counter's on here for Schalke. Is there one big chance towards the back end of this match? Again, it's another poor pass, and how many times have we seen in this second game? The quality just hasn't quite been there.
Barcelona have a chance here, and a real chance for a counter with Sergi Roberto coming forward. But it is snuffed out by Schalke. Good defending there, but oh no, here comes Messi again.
It's in towards Jordi Alba at the back post, chance to win it, right foot shot, in off the post, and that goal might be the difference between Barcelona finishing in the knockout stages of this season, because that was a crucial goal at a crucial time.
88th minute of the game, and it always seems to happen to Schalke. Great goal, credit Barcelona. We'll see it here again in just a moment, and what a time to do it as well. It all came from just no assertiveness at the back, led to a 3-on-2. They found the extra man, and well, it's off the inside of the near post. Well, very difficult to do.
Indeed. Just when we were saying it was lacking that little bit of quality in the final third, up pops Jordi Alba. And the right foot shot rattles in off the inside of the post. And Schalke are absolutely furious. And why are they furious, Wes?
Because they haven't made the most of the half chances they had in the first half. They haven't made enough of the second game, and now we see that changes are coming in, but it could be far too little, far too late.
Indeed it could, and that goal, as I said, might be the difference between Barcelona finishing in that top section and going through to the knockouts, and equally it could leave Schalke just too shy.
It could lead them put adrift at the bottom of the table. It could, you know, obviously if results go the other way today, as Barca take the ball again, you're really kind of worried for kind of Schalke after showing early promise in Matchday 1. Was that kind of a false dawn almost?
Deep into injury time, and a chance for a second here, and Barcelona have finished this game in tremendous form, and you'd have to say on the balance of play have deserved their victory if they are indeed going to get it, which it looks like currently they are, as the ball is behind for a corner.
Well, we said it might happen. Whoever gets the first goal might be rewarded with a second, because of the amount of players that Schalke now, with little time on the clock remaining, have to commit forward. Only two centre-backs they're playing with. That's why it is such a mismatch there at the back, so could be 2-0.
Surely they might just hold this ball in the corner, Harry.
You'd think so. I mean, just make the 3 points certain, make Schalke tactical value, or again lead to another corner, as this may well be. Just chews off more time on the clock and allows you to be that much closer to the 3 points, or in this case 4 after the first game draw.
Another performance from Barcelona which has kind of been in keeping with their season. They've played pretty well across the board. They haven't been electric, but they've got 4 points, and that 1 point for Schalke could be pretty damaging this season. Wes, that was a great last-ditch end, really, for Barcelona. They have to say that they deserved it.
Yeah, I think on the balance of play, I think you'd say that they deserve it. I think it was it's showing a bit of the mentality that we always knew that Barca had. It was just the fact that we were waiting for them to showcase it. And I think, looking at the way that they are conducting themselves and looking at the way they are playing, they're doing enough. We're not expecting them to be kind